Hi, I'm Asuka Sensei, your Japanese teacher. Today I'll show you how to master one of the most confusing parts of Japanese grammar, the difference between wa and ga. Have you ever wondered what is the difference between wa and ga? Yes, you may think, is there really a difference between wa and ga? When should I use wa? When should I use ga? How do I know which one to choose? I hear these questions all the time. This common question is a real struggle for learners because the rule aren't always clear. And even tiny mistakes can make sentences sound strange. You are not alone. Many of my students have faced this exact challenge and found it frustrating to remember when to use each one. Not understanding wa and ga's difference can make your Japanese sound unnatural and sometimes even hard for native speakers to follow. It can hold you back in conversation, leaving you second guessing every sentence and then feeling less confident. I know. But don't worry. In this video, I'll share the easiest way to make the difference between wa and ga crystal clear. Even if you struggle with these two little monsters, after learning the key difference, you can speak with more clarity and confidence. Before we dive in, if you want more Japanese learning tips like this, subscribe to my channel. There's also a special gift for those who are watching this video. So, if you're eager to truly understand the difference between wa and ga, be sure to watch until the end. Now let's unlock the mystery of wa and ga. Before we dive in, let me start with a quick but important note. This hiragana letter is usually pronounced as ha, but when it is used as a particle, it's actually pronounced as wa. It's a bit strange, I know, but that's just how Japanese works. So what exactly are wa particle and ga? In the simplest terms, maybe you can find on your Japanese textbooks or apps or website, okay? Wa marks the topic, ga marks the subject. Yes, I know. Now you are probably thinking, oh no, that doesn't help at all to understand them. Don't worry, I completely understand your frustration. It's confusing because we are trying to understand the difference between these two particles with pure logic using our brain. It doesn't help us, but just confuse us. You may say, what? But isn't the grammar logic a set of rules? Well, here's something to think about. Why do we use language in the first place? Is it just to transmit information? Just to follow the rules? Follow the grammar? No. We use language to communicate with others, to share our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Communication is the very heart of language. But you might be thinking, wait, I've never learned grammar as communication before. Exactly. That's not your fault. It's actually a problem with how Japanese is typically taught. Most textbooks and apps present grammar as just a set of rules to memorize. Yes, Japanese grammar is very complicated, so that's, yeah, but this is not helpful at all. I help learners improve their Japanese by focusing on communication rather than rule memorization through my program, Communicative Japanese. When students shift their focus to communication rather than information, they start to feel the underlying ideas and subtle nuances in Japanese. And that's when the language really begins to make sense. But how can I feel the nuance of the Japanese language? You may ask. No worries. In this video, I'll show you how to feel the nuance behind these grammar rules. If you can understand the feeling of intention behind why wa and ga are used, the differences between them become much clearer. Are you interested in it? Then let's begin. Let's look at how wa actually works. If you see some example sentences that use wa, you gradually start to feel the nuance of this particle. As mentioned, wa is used to indicate the topic of a sentence. It shows what the speaker is currently talking about. But even if you try to understand it using your brain logically, it's hard to grasp it. So let me give you some examples to explain this further. Let's look at this sentence. I woke up at 6 o'clock. 今日6時に起きました. It's just a simple statement. Today, I woke up at 6. 今日は6時に起きました. When you add wa to 今日 today, you are not just saying you woke up at 6. You are actually highlighting that today is special or different from other days. Maybe yesterday you woke up at 7 and tomorrow you wake up at 8, but today, 今日, that's what we are talking about specifically. By the way, usually we don't use a particle with 今日, okay, because 今日 is relative time expression. So we just say 今日 without any particle, 6時に起きました. But when we add wa to emphasize today's uniqueness, in that case, we add wa. Okay? Here's another example. I will go to Tokyo. 東京に行きます means I go to Tokyo, yeah. If you add wa, 東京には行きます. When you add wa, making it には, you are suggesting something more. Perhaps you won't go to Osaka or Kyoto, but Tokyo, yes, you definitely go there. When we add wa, it becomes には, okay? So 東京に行きます just simple statement, going to Tokyo. 東京には行きます. To Tokyo, yes. We also use え to show a direction. In that case, we can use えは. Okay? 東京へ行きます. Going to Tokyo, just a simple statement. 東京へは行きます. It implies to Tokyo, yes. But maybe not Osaka, maybe not Kyoto. Yeah. This hiragana letter, can you say it? This one? It's usually pronounced as he. But when we use it as a particle, it is pronounced as e. So be careful. Let's look at this example. We don't eat sweets in the library. 図書館でお菓子を食べません. This is just a simple statement. We don't eat sweets in the library. 図書館ではお菓子を食べません. With は, so it becomes では. You are emphasizing that while you might eat sweets elsewhere, the library is a special place where you don't eat. So that's why では. Right, the next one. I talked with Miss 田中. 田中さんと話しました. Just a simple statement. I talked with Miss 田中. 田中さんとは話しました. With Miss 田中, at least I talked. By adding は to 田中さんと, it makes とは. It contrasts this situation with others, implying I didn't talk with others, but I did talk with Miss 田中. Okay? Can you feel this speciality? Okay. Yeah. Next one. I drink wine. ワインを飲みます. ワインは飲みます. Wine, at least I drink. When は is added to wine, it suggests I don't drink other things like beer or whiskey or champagne, but I do drink wine. Now you can see that we don't use おは. Okay, when wa is used, the particle o is omitted. right? So wa just, is used as one particle. So ワインは飲みます。Alright, the next one. I understand English. 私は英語がわかります。By the way, in this case, this particle が doesn't indicate the subject like it usually might. Instead, it is used within a structure. A person understands something. In Japanese, person は things がわかります。Okay? は and then がわかります。So this is a special sentence structure. Here, が marks the object of that is understood in this case. わかります。What do you understand? 英語がわかります。Okay? But if you want to emphasize, I understand English. Yes, you can use 英語はわかります。Okay? It means I might not understand other languages, no German, no Spanish, no French, but English is something I understand. Okay? Like o, when wa is used, ga is omitted. So we don't say ga wa. Okay? We just say wa. 英語がわかります。It's just neutral, usual statement. 英語はわかります。It means I understand English at least. How about now? After looking at various examples like this, are you beginning to feel the nuance of what? I think you are now. As we've seen, what indicates the topic of the sentence, showing that this is what we are talking about now. So it means it is used when we want to convey, unlike others, this one is special. So that's why we are talking about. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, now I see. I'm starting to understand how to use the particle wa. But what about when ga and wa both seems to mark the subject of the sentence? Yes, that's the most confusing part. I'll explain that next. So the big question, wa versus ga as a subject with subject. So let's look at these sentences. Miss Tanaka went to Kyoto. 田中さんが京都に行きました。田中さんは京都に行きました。How different do you think these two sentences are? Oh no, I don't know. Both mean Miss Tanaka went to Kyoto, right? Yes, it is true. However, they are not the same. Maybe you guess it. Let me show you when each sentence is used. So imagine the situation like this. Who went to Tokyo? So someone asks you, 誰が京都に行きましたか? If someone asks this question, the answer is 田中さんが京都に行きました. So here the particle が indicates the person who performed the action, in this case, going to Kyoto. It's answering the question who actually did it. Tanaka-san is the subject of the action 京都に行きました. So that's why we use が in this sentence. It's not correct. Please memorize. Well, not memorize, but maybe you can guess. Now, it's not correct. If you answer this question, 田中さんは京都に行きました. It's wrong, okay? Because this question, 誰が京都に行きましたか asks who actually did this action, okay? Who is the subject of this action. So that's why 誰が田中さんが京都に行きました. Then imagine another situation. What did Miss Tanaka do? 田中さんは何をしましたか? If someone asks this question, the answer is 田中さんは京都に行きました. So when someone asks about 田中さん, we answer using は. Actually, the question also uses the particle は because the person who asks this question interested in Tanaka-san. Okay, so that's why wa is used because this is a topic. Here, what makes Miss Tanaka the topic? Because we are talking about her action. Okay, so we are just focusing on Tanaka-san. So Tanaka-san do what? Okay, so that's why wa is used. Now you can feel the difference between wa and ga. It depends on the context, what we are talking about, and what the speaker wants to express in a certain situation. Understanding these differences isn't about memorizing rules. It's about sensing how the sentence is intended to communicate something to the listener. Okay, let's recap. Wa is a topic marker. It means wa shows what we are talking about. Wa often implies contrast with other things. That's why we are talking about it. And let me tell you about this, like Tanaka-san wa, okay? And ga is a subject marker. It means ga shows who or what actually does the action. Ga answers who questions, who actually did it. Yep. And this is the one doing this action. Okay. Rather than memorizing grammar rules mechanically, I hope you can now see how understanding the speaker's perspective, asking why a sentence is formed in a particular way, it helps you feel the nuanced difference between wa and ga. This shift in perspective is truly variable, and now I believe you can feel the difference between wa and ga. As a special thank you for watching the video to the end, I'm offering a downloadable reference sheet of the rule of Japanese particle wa and ga. This summary includes all the example sentences covered in this video, making it a handy reminder to deepen your understanding. To receive your copy, simply sign up using the link in the description. You'll also receive my email newsletters full of Japanese study tips. You are not alone if you have been struggling to use Japanese effectively even after learning vocabulary and grammar. To support learners facing this challenge, I offer a program called Communicative Japanese, where we focus on learning Japanese through meaningful communication. Many students find that instead of memorizing grammar frantically, they can start to feel the subtle nuances in Japanese. Although enrollment isn't open right now, if you subscribe to my newsletter, I'll inform you updates about the next enrollment period. If you find this video helpful, please leave a comment or a like below. It means a lot to me. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. さようなら。またね